Have you heard about the Retirees Handbook?
It's full of answers to your retirement questions.
Subscribe now so you don't miss a thing.
Welcome on the YouTube channel, The Retirees Handbook. If you enjoy our content, leave a like on the video and subscribe to our channel. Today we are diving into a really critical update for anyone receiving Social Security benefits. And the main question we're asking is a big one. Could the Social Security Administration actually owe you money? We're going to find out.
So let's just jump right in, because this is so important. If you get Social Security, I really need you to pay close attention for the next few minutes. We're talking about a situation that could literally mean a surprise payment of hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars showing up in your bank account. And I promise you, this isn't some kind of clickbait nonsense. This is a real thing that's happening right now at the Social Security Administration.
You see, the SSA is actively processing and sending out these extra payments to millions of people. But here's the thing, they're not exactly shouting it from the rooftops. These government processes can be so confusing, you know? They're filled with all this jargon that makes it almost impossible to figure out what you're actually owed. So our goal with this explainer is to just cut through all of that noise and give you a super simple, step-by-step action plan to figure out if you're on that list for extra money and exactly what you need to do about it.
Okay, so what is this extra money? And more importantly, where is it coming from all of a sudden? Let's pull back the curtain and break down exactly what's going on behind the scenes. The official government term for these payments is retroactive payments, but really, you can just think of it as BackPay. That's all it is. Essentially, the SSA has gone through its records and found errors, mistakes, where people were being underpaid for past months, or in some cases, for years. So now, they're trying to make it right by sending out these lump sum payments to correct those past mistakes. So why did these mistakes happen in the first place? Well, it's not just one thing. Sometimes the annual cost of living adjustment, the COLA, it just wasn't applied correctly to someone's account. Other times, it's as simple as a data entry error on the original application. A really big one is delays. I mean, if it took the SSA a year to approve your application, they owe you money for that entire year you were waiting. And finally, sometimes they'll recalculate your entire earnings history and realize, oops, we didn't count all your working years correctly, and that triggers a back payment.
And that, of course, leads us to the million-dollar question. Who is actually getting this money? Is it you? Let's dig into the main groups that are being affected so you can see where you might fit in.
The net here is cast pretty wide. It covers a whole range of beneficiaries. We're talking retirees who might have had an error in their initial calculation years ago. It's especially huge for disabled Americans on SSDI because their application process can be so long and complicated, which often leads to major back pay. Surviving spouses and children are another key group because figuring out their benefits is complex and, frankly, easy to get wrong. Veterans can also be affected, especially when there are communication issues between the VA and the SSA. And a group we absolutely can't forget, moms and other caregivers who took time out of the workforce. Their earnings records can get seriously miscalculated, leading to smaller checks than they truly deserve.
So when you boil it all down, it really comes down to just two things. First, you had to have filed your application before a very specific deadline, which we're going to talk about in just a second. And second, there has to have been some kind of mistake, an error, a delay, a miscalculation, and how your benefits were first set up. If you check both of those boxes, you could very well be on the list to get one of these payments.
Okay, now let's talk about the single most important detail in this whole thing. This is the part that separates who is eligible right now from who isn't.
And here it is, a clear line in the sand. For most people we're talking about, that hard deadline was December 31st of last year. If you submitted your application before that date, you're in the system. You are being considered for these corrective payments. But if you filed after that date, you will not be part of this particular wave of payouts. It's a really firm rule, and unfortunately, the SSA doesn't make exceptions on this one.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're looking at that slide and saying, oh, great, I missed it, I'm out of luck. But wait, don't go anywhere. Even if you missed the December 31st cutoff for this round of payments, filing your application immediately is still one of the most important financial moves you can make. Why? Because in most situations, the SSA can give you retroactive benefits for up to 6 months before the date you apply. Think about that. Every single month you put off filing is another month of benefits that you could be kissing goodbye forever. So if you're eligible, you need to file today. Seriously, not tomorrow, today.
All right, we've talked enough about the problem. Let's get into the solution. I'm going to walk you through a really clear 4-step action plan that you can use starting right now to check on your benefits and make sure you're getting every single penny you have earned.
Okay, let's walk through this together. Step 1 is the easiest part. Just check your bank account. Log into your online banking, look at your statements, and also check your online My SocialSecurity account. You're looking for any deposits that you weren't expecting. Step 2 is for anyone who hasn't applied yet. Go to SSA.gov and just start the process. Don't put it off another day. Step 3 is for absolutely everybody, and it's so important. Request your benefit verification letter. This letter is like the blueprint. It shows you exactly how the SSA came up with your monthly payment number. And that leads to step 4, which is maybe the most powerful advice of all: question everything. If you get that letter and a number looks off, or a year of your work history is missing, call them. Contact the SSA. You have a right to understand how they got their numbers and to file an appeal if you think they're wrong.
All right, so looking beyond just this one-time payment situation, it's so important to have a proactive mindset for the long run. Let's talk about a few strategies to make sure you're always getting the maximum benefit you're entitled to.
This is a big one. So many people miss this, especially women who may have taken some years off to raise their kids or care for family. You might be able to claim benefits based on your spouse's work record. Or get this, even your ex-spouse's work record. If 50% of their benefit is more than 100% of your own, you get to take the bigger amount. It's a huge deal and can mean a major increase in your monthly income.
And speaking of making sure your payments are correct, you've got to stay on top of those yearly cost of living adjustments. Looking ahead to 2025, the early estimate is a 2.3% COLA. Now that's not as big as the last couple of years, but it's still a raise. It's more money in your pocket every month. This is just another reason why you need to check your statements and make sure these increases are actually showing up in your benefits each and every year.
Now, I want to talk about something I hear all the time. It's a really common belief, but it is so dangerous. People just assume that if the government owes them money, the government will, do the right thing and get in touch.
Let me be perfectly clear. That could not be more wrong. The single biggest takeaway from all of this is that you have to be your own advocate. The Social Security Administration is not going to call you on the phone and say, "Hey Bob, we messed up. Here's an extra couple $1,000." That's not how it works. They might quietly fix the error and send the payment, but it is on you to check your accounts, review your documents, and raise your hand if something doesn't add up.
And that brings us to a few last mistakes you really need to avoid. First, keep records of everything. Anytime you talk to the SSA, write down the date, the time, who you spoke to, and what they said. Create a paper trail. Second, do not give up. If your application is denied and you believe you're entitled to benefits, appeal it. Sometimes the people on the front lines just make a mistake. And finally, please be careful about scams. The SSA will never ever call you and demand money or threaten you. If you get a phone call like that, it is 100% a scam. Just hang up the phone.
So I want to leave you with this one final question to think about. Are you getting every single dollar you deserve? You worked your whole life. You paid into this system out of every single paycheck. The money you get from Social Security isn't a handout, it's not a gift, it's a benefit that you earned. Don't let confusing government rules or frustrating paperwork keep you from getting what is rightfully yours. You have to stay informed, stay empowered, and make sure you're getting everything you've worked for.
That's all the time we have for today. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a like.